Buckle up, because it's time for Jim Jefferies and Friends, starring Ireland's Jim Owen, Amos Gill, Renee Percy, and Ivan Aristogeta. Now, give it up for Jim Jefferies!
Hello. Very exciting to be here. Now, I do a little bit of acting. I mostly do comedies and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to tell you a story that happened over COVID. So during COVID, my wife gets pregnant. Right? That's got nothing to do with acting. Regular way. Came in my hand and chucked it at her. Anyway, so my wife gets pregnant, right? So we're quarantining together. My wife's pregnant. We're just living in the house, living our lives, right? And I get a phone call from Rob Schneider. Now, this is at the height of COVID. This is back with the original, the OG COVID. You know, the one that would kill you? Hey? The one where you're on a ventilator and there was doctors standing around you like this? That COVID, remember that? That COVID would kill you, and then Delta came along, and Delta could fuck you up, but I think it's safe to say if you died from Omicron, you're a pussy. Anyway. So my wife's pregnant. We're trying to, keep her safe from the COVID. We're in the house. I get a phone call from Rob Schneider. Now, you all know who Rob Schneider is. Rob Schneider's Deuce Bigalow, the hot chick. He's been in all the Adam Sandler movies. You can do it. Someone wants to yell it out, right? That's, yeah. When I bring it up, it's irritating. His life must be hell. Anyway... So Rob rings me up, and he's writing a movie with a very funny Australian comic called Monty Franklin, and it's set about the Emu War that happened in Western Australia. If you know about this, there was a whole lot of emus, and the Australian Army was sent in, and they lost the war. Anyway, so they're making a movie about that. So Rob Schneider and Monty Franklin are writing this movie about that, and they'd already cast in the movie John Cleese. Now, I have to mention that John Cleese is a personal hero of mine. But that John Cleese has been making me laugh since I was about 6 years old, right until now. There's not many people who can do that. I remember John Cleese being a bit of connective tissue between me and my parents. We'd be watching the TV, watching The Life of Brian, and we'd be laughing at the same things. And there wasn't many things that did that. I love John Cleese. And Rob Schneider also loves John Cleese, and he had cast John in this movie. And John had read the script, and he had decided that he wanted to rewrite the script, right? Now, John Cleese is an Oscar-nominated writer. If he asked to rewrite your script, you fucking let him. So, John Cleese and Rob Schneider and Monty Franklin all decide to get an Airbnb in Phoenix, Arizona, right? Rob believes in more freedoms. They didn't have a mask mandate there. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so they move out to Phoenix, Arizona, and they're in an Airbnb, and that's who are quarantining during COVID. They ring me up and say, hey, do you want to help out with the script? Come and write with us for a bit. And I'm like, I don't want to go out to Phoenix. And then Rob goes, John Cleese is here. And I'm like, I want to fucking live with John Cleese. Of course I want to live with John Cleese. But here's the problem. My wife's pregnant. She's scared. If she gets COVID, what happens to the baby? She's all worried. If I leave, she'll be all by herself. So I had to be very tactful about this. So I walked up to my wife and I said, honey, I got to go. And then I drove off to Phoenix. I drove off 6 hours out to Phoenix. I get out there, and we all lived together in this house, and every day was the same. We'd wake up in the morning and have a great big full English breakfast. John loves food, man, this full English breakfast, right? We'd eat that. Then we'd write for a few hours. Then we'd have a swim in the pool. Me, Basil Fawlty, and Deuce Bigalow. Sitting around splashing each other. Then we would have lunch. Then John, who was 82 at the time, would have what he calls a nap. Right? Then we'd see John again at 6 p.m. Right? And at 6 p.m. we'd have dinner, and he would tell us these wonderful stories about Eric Idle and Michael Palin and all wonderful stories. Then we would finish the evening by doing a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle of a Hungarian castle that John thinks he may have performed in once. Now, this went on for a while. A few days later, sadly, Rob Schneider's mother passes away, so Rob has to go off to San Francisco for his mother's funeral. So now me and John are just kicking around the house, eating big breakfasts, swimming in pools, doing jigsaw puzzles of Hungarian castles. Cut to about a week later, my wife says, "Can you come home?" And I'm like, okay. So I go up in the morning, I go buy myself, I go get a COVID test because I go home, and then I go and buy a bottle of wine to give to John as a thank you. And I walk into the house and John's standing there and I give it to him and I had a little speech prepared. And I said, "John, this is a little token of my appreciation. Thank you so much for letting me live with you for the last couple of weeks. Writing jokes with you is a dream come true and has been a real joy in my life, sir." And he looked at me and he said, "Becoming friends with you has been a great joy in my life. How about we finish that jigsaw?" Now, I had no plane to catch. I was driving home. I'm like, fuck it, yeah, let's finish this fucking jigsaw. So we're sitting there doing the jigsaw. John is now telling me how he wrote the Dead Parrot sketch. Him and Chapman wrote the sketch, where they came up with it. The whole sketch has ADR, which means they recorded the voice over the top, because if you look in the sketch, there's a fish tank with a little filter bubbling, and he's like this, "Because silence is the canvas where laughter is painted upon." And I'm like, I'm having a most pretentious comedy conversation with my hero. I remember thinking to myself, these moments don't happen all the time. Remember this. And then I get a text on my phone, and I pull my phone out, and it says, "You have COVID." And I'm sitting across from my 82-year-old unvaccinated hero. And I sat there for about 7 minutes and said and did nothing. Like, remember that moment that George Bush found out about 9/11? And he was sitting in front of those kids and that person just whispered in his ears and he was like... So eventually, after a while, I thought I have to do something. So I had a mask hanging around my neck. So I put it gingerly up over my face because I thought maybe I could still stop it. And then I just said, "John, I have COVID." Now, John's basically deaf, and if he can't see my lips move, he didn't know what the fuck I was saying. And he leaned in and he went, "What?" And I said, "I'm so sorry, John. I don't know how this happened. I've been with you the whole time. I don't know where I could have gotten COVID." And he stood up and he came towards me and he was like this, "What? What?" And I was like, "No, John, no! Save yourself!" But he kept coming. "What? What?" So I just collected all my shit and I just ran out of the house and I got to the door, and I'm not religious, but I said, "Godspeed, John." And then I got into my car and I rang my wife up and I was sitting there panicking. And I rang her up and I said, my wife's name's Tazy. I didn't name her. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I ring up Tazy and I went, "Tazy." I said, "I have COVID." And my wife went, "Oh my God, the baby." The baby. And I said, "Fuck the baby. I've just killed John Cleese." And my wife, who is British and married to a comedian, said, "Who is John Cleese again?" I never would have married her.
Still to come, Amos Gill, Renee Percy, Ivan Aristogeta, and Jim Owen.
Parts of it I don't enjoy doing stand-up. Parts of it, checking into hotels, because they're very two-faced. Like when you check in, they couldn't do enough for you. Can we show you to your room? Can we help you with your bags? And then you wake up in the morning and they're like, get out.
Don't go away. This is Jim Jefferies and Friends.
Look, this is very rare you get to introduce someone who you look up to as much as I look up to this man. I have been watching him do stand-up comedy on Australian TV since before I was ever a comedian. He makes me laugh just as much now as he did then. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go crazy. It's Jim Owen.
Right. Won't be trying that again. It's nice to be, on tour sometimes. Parts of it I don't enjoy doing stand-up. Parts of it, checking into hotels. It sounds good, but it gets a bit tedious after a while because they're very two-faced. Like when you check in, they couldn't do enough for you. Can we show you to your room? Can we help you with your bags? Then you go out for the evening, and you come back and they've folded the sheets back and put a lovely little chocolate on the side of the bed. And you're like, oh. And then you wake up in the morning and they're like, get out. What are you talking about? Just get in, fucking get out. When you get into a lift, you're tired. You ever get into a lift and you press the floor you want to go to, and then someone gets into the lift with you and they press another floor below your floor, and you're looking at the back of their head going, you fucker, I would have stopped. I'm not always like that. Sometimes, you're just you and a young girl in a lift together, and it can be quite intimidating as an older man with you and a younger girl in the lift. And I always try and make them feel at ease. I give them skinny lips. Just to make them feel at ease, I do this, I go. You don't want to be doing big lips in the lift, I do skinny lips a lot. It's my go-to face. Passing someone in the corridor, it's kind of skinny, give them skinny lips. Sometimes I go to the reception at a hotel and there's no one at reception, there's a little bell. I ring the bell, like bing, but I feel bad for summoning somebody. So I ring the bell and then I turn around and do skinny lips to anyone in the lobby. Bing! One time I went up to the hotel room and there was no toilet paper in the hotel room. So I had to go back down to the reception and say to the girl, there's no toilet paper in the room. And the girl at reception reached under the counter, grabbed a roll of toilet paper, handed it to me, and we both did skinny lips together. It was a nice moment. Gosh, yeah. It's good to hear people coughing again too, isn't it? Not that long ago, we'd been running to the hills if someone had coughed. Now we're back coughing and spluttering like the good old days. Do you remember when the pandemic started and you were close to people and you felt like you were going to sneeze and you'd try and catch it early or it would implode in your head? Because the sneeze you do at home is different from the sneeze you do when you're out. When you sneeze at home, that's like an exorcism, isn't it? Other people in the family aren't expecting it. But when you're out, you catch it early, it implodes. It's like when you burp at home, you just go for it. But when you burp when you're out, you break the burp up into two bits. Where you catch a bad air in the back of your throat, and then the second bit you blow it out, you go, and then you go. Sneezing's the same, but you still burp and you still sneeze. Have you ever sneezed with your mouth full? happened to me once. I was on a first date. No, it gets worse. It gets worse. I had the shits. No, it gets worse. I was in a standing 69er. No, it gets worse. I realized I wasn't gay. It gets worse. My parents arrived home and we fell down the stairs. But luckily, we were in a standing 69er, so it was just feet the whole way down the stairs. And I landed the right way up. But my brother wasn't happy. No. These are jokes. I sometimes talk to the audience as well, by the way, just to let people know that I've got that skill. I can ad-lib with the best of them. Hello, what's your name, love?
Susie.
Susie, and who are you with tonight?
These two.
Michael.
And?
Sam.
And you're from here, Melbourne?
No, from England.
England? You're from England? Oh, right. Right. Could have gone anywhere. No, there's another thing I want to tell you about. I got a new pair of underpants, right? And do you ever have a crack at putting your underpants on, but you're not quite awake? And you've just had a stab at it, and you haven't really thought it through. And you've caught big toe in the front of the underpants. And then you have a little bit of a dance with it. And then you've got to go down with the underpants. And then you're having words to yourself going, get your game face on here. What are you fucking doing? Putting your underpants on. Think about this. Right, you've got to be up on one leg, right? So you can cantilever, and, maybe the next time you do it up against the wall. So if you do fall over, you can go into the wall, as opposed to last time, top of the stairs. And you're looking at the hole, and you're a couple of fake stabs at it. Because you don't want to catch big toe on the front of your underpants, because big toe's enemy. Big toe is your friend at night when you're taking your shoes off, taking your trousers off. Then in the morning, big toe's your enemy, right? Big toe's the only toe that works, by the way. All the rest of them are just de-evolving, aren't they? They're like, big toe's the only toe that moves, right? If you move your toes, that's the only one that moves. The rest of them are just going, what's going on? Except for little toe. Little toe doesn't even bother moving. He's just lying there thinking, what's the point? I'm not even going to the market. I remember seeing my father's little toe as a kid thinking, what happened to that? Oh my God, are you in pain? But now my little toe's the same. It's like upside down. It's like sideways. You can't even see it. The one next to it's lying on top of it. I have trouble with socks as well, but I have good socks. When you open the sock drawer and you've just done a wash and there's loads of socks and you're like, oh, which ones will I have today? But then there's other times you open the sock drawer and there's no socks left, except for that one pair of socks that you've had all your life and you're trying not even to look at them. And then you pick them up and you go, I hate these socks. Oh my God, not these socks. We have a chair opposite the bed. They have to, I sit on so I can get my foot on to put those socks on. I just fight with the sock the whole way. I've got a bad head on. I fucking hate these socks. These are the freaking worst socks. My leg up, And if my wife's ever in bed and I'm putting those socks on, she says the same thing to me every time. The freaking same thing, like a broken record. Can you put your underpants on first? I put my socks on first and then my underpants. Not a good look, but it does take big toe out of the equation. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
your way with after the break, more of Jim and his mates.
I'm broke because I took my superannuation out. Anyone else make that call? I didn't really understand compound interest, so I took it out and put it into a self-managed super fund called Sportsbet.
This next comedian travels around the world with me. I'm pretty sure he's going to be one of the most famous Australian comics that has ever lived. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Amos Gill.
G'day everybody, how you doing? Give it up for Jim Jefferies, come on! So I'm broke. Anyone else broke? I don't think this gig's gonna fucking help me either. I don't think I'll get much government money after this. I'm broke because I took my superannuation out. Anyone else make that call? Remember when the government in COVID said you could access your super early? I didn't really understand compound interest, so I took it out and put it into a self-managed super fund called Sportsbet. And I'm not doing well. I am lucky though, because my mum has got a new boyfriend and he's rich. We like that. His name's Wayne. He owns a gold mine in Kalgoorlie, Western Australia. He owns the mine. He owns the whole mine. That's why the relationship works out with my mum, because they've got the same job. They both dig for gold and they really understand each other. I went to go meet him for the first time and he's got a yacht, and I saw his yacht in the harbour and I deleted my real dad's phone number. I was like, I don't need this loser from the Riverland holding me back anymore. I got a new dad called Wayne. I went out on their little trip together. They had like a honeymoon. It was me, Mum and Wayne. They had a lot of sex. I loved it. Every time I heard him come, I felt a little more financially secure. I was rocking the boat for them like, go Mum, go! Save this family! I wanted him to come so hard he had a heart attack. And I'd walk in the cabin and look at his lifeless body and go, I am the captain now. So how are we all feeling about the world? We ready for World War III? Yeah? That's exciting, isn't it? How do you think we'll go? I'm not sure we'll win the next one. I wouldn't have us on my multi. My generation has to fight it. We don't look like Anzacs, do we? You ever see these fat little fuckers on the scooters and vapes? I don't stare at them and think, you'll end up on a commemorative coin. My generation, we're not brave or tough. We hear Kokoda and we're like, is that a coffee shop? Where's that at? Gallipoli? Yeah, man, I voted for them in the hottest 100 they slab. We're not brave at all. I was in a coffee shop and I heard this in Melbourne. This girl goes, this week at work, I am not wearing any makeup to work. And her friend goes, oh, you're so brave. I thought, we're fucked here. That's what bravery is today, wearing no makeup. Have you got makeup up? Yeah, you got it on? Yeah, fucking coward. That's what's brave today. You know what bravery was back in the day? Yeah, back in the day, in the 1940s, bravery was those young men that jumped into boats and crossed the English Channel. Remember those men? And the Stuka dive bombers? Bombing them, boats blowing up everywhere. They get on the beach. Their friends are getting shot, but they march forward because they believed in brotherhood and country and self-sacrifice. Those boys were brave. And you know why they were brave? None of them had makeup on. Must have been fucking intimidating. It's the worst day of your life and you don't have your face on. They're like, have we got any fucking concealer back there? I've got a pimple and the History Channel's here. I think we're going to lose the war, but I'm okay with that. We don't have the dog in us, but we will be good refugees. Aussies will be the best refugees the world has ever seen. It's everything that we enjoy. It's boating and camping. China and Russia will think they'll break our spirits and we're just wandering around going boating, camping, fishing, it's BCF and fun. They'll put us into a tent city and all the millennials will be like, I finally got a house. You give it 1 week and that fucking camp will be a music festival. And if we have to flee and we're on boats, even if they sink us, they won't break us. These other countries, they drown at sea. Not us. We'll be there for 3 days treading water like, mate, I did nippers. That's why I think if we want to be okay, let's just get on the front foot with China right now and cut a deal. We'll go up to the Chinese, we'll go to President Xi, and we'll say, look, you can have Australia, you've already got Melbourne. Just give us one street in every Chinese city as a trade. Give us Aussie Town. One district of all the Aussie shit crammed into it. That's a good bargain. Just one long road of pub tabs, kinos, chicken palmies. We'll have Aussie restaurants for the Chinese. There'll be Chinese-Australian fusion with a racist name, probably knowing us. We'll be like, have yourself an Aussie bubble tea. It's just a VB with Maltesers in it. At the end of your meal, you get an Australian fortune cookie. What does yours say? Mine says, Saturdays are for the boys. What does yours say? Mine says, buy a bag tonight, your 15-leg multi's getting up. And I'll be there in communist China, trying to ply my trade as a comedian. I'll sell you out immediately. I'll be the #1 comic in all of China. I've already started working on my act. Might try it out on you white dogs right now. This is from my upcoming show called Nee, How You Going? And before I commence my act, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that Taiwan is not real. It always was, it always will be Chinese land. Don't fucking put this in TikTok, they'll kill me, right? An Englishman, an Irishman, and an Australian walk into a bar. Of course they did. They are a degenerate scum race. Knock, knock. A Uyghur Muslim. How'd he get out of the camp? My wife, please, take my wife. She keeps giving birth to daughters and I'm sick of drowning them in the river. I'm going to stay broke. All right, we'll finish on this. You guys have been a wonderful crowd. Thank you very much. Tip your waitress, try the chow mein. What's the difference between Santa Claus and the Tiananmen Square massacre? Nothing. They are both the work of Western fiction and never existed. Thanks very much. I'm Emil Skill. See you later.
After the break, more of Jim and his mates.
Oh, my father is in the audience. He went to the Mona Art Gallery and he goes, you should have bloody seen it. There was one display there that was just a wall of vaginas. And I was trying to find one that looked like your mother's.
Don't go away.
Oh, my father is in the audience over there. My dad, there he is. With my Uncle Brian. They're from Sydney, right? So they're down for the trip, right? And they go, what's that bar, Jackson and whatever? And it has the picture of the Chloe upstairs. So there's a nude painting in the top of the bar. And these two bastards, that's all they want to see. They want to go see the thing. But they were here about 6 weeks earlier for the Grand Prix tryouts. And so they go, you got to see this painting. So they took me yesterday to go see the Chloe. And I walk in and the bartender, she goes, oh my God, as we walk in. And I was like this, yes, hello, 1% Club, pleasure to meet you. And they went, you're the two old brothers who were here 6 weeks ago. So they're at an age where they're uncancelable, these two. They can do whatever they want. So they went down to Tasmania to drive around, and they went to, there's a museum there, what's it called again? The Mona, right? So they go to the Mona. Now, my Uncle Brian, he's a big art buff, and he knows everything about art, he goes to galleries of that. My father, he's not as much in the art realm. He went to the Mona Art Gallery, and he goes, you should have bloody seen it. There was one display there that was just a wall of vaginas. All different types of vaginas, all different shapes. Some of them were everything falling out of them. Some of them all tucked in. They were all there to see. And I was trying to find one that looked like your mother's. Now, mind you, my mother died 4 years ago, so this is very sentimental to me. He goes, I was trying to find one that looked like your mother's, and I would have found one, but Brian kept on fucking hurrying me up the whole time. Anyway, there was this girl, she was about 20 or something, and she was just staring at this one vagina. She was staring at it for the longest time, and so I went up with her, and I had a bit of a laugh, and I walked up, and I went, does that one look like yours? Now, my dad's seen me. This is the second time. I went and performed at his bowling club in Turramurra, and I told that story, and he got angry at me. It's literally the second time I've ever told this story, right? So I have to do it again in front of my dad, because if you can't do a joke in front of someone, you should never tell the joke at all, right? Now, my dad comes up to me after I told that joke the first time. He goes, oh, bloody, you pick on me, you do. You fucking pick on me. He goes, that's not what happened at all. I didn't just walk up to her and go, does that one look like yours? I walked up to her and I went, that's a lovely looking one, isn't it? Right? I built a rapport with the young lady.
I didn't say that either. I said, it looks very neat.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, Dad. Next time when I tell that story, I'll make sure I get it right, mate. All right. This next comic works with me in LA. I adore her. I know you will as well. Can you please welcome Renee Percy?
Oh, yes. Hello. Hi. First of all, yes, I know. I look like Barbie's messed up sister. Yeah. Frankston Barbie. Yes, I look like Barbie made a few bad decisions, you know. I look like John Benet Ramsey wasn't killed. How's that? How's that? Oh, okay. Sickos on that side. Too dark for this side. I'm going to tell you guys a true story. I have a friend who did a show at a college recently, and he started off by saying, how's it going, guys? And they pulled the plug on him. Yes, because he was only referring to the men, right? He wasn't being inclusive. And I do not want to get canceled by a country whose prime minister shit himself at a McDonald's. So I have had my lawyer prepare a little statement that I would like to read with your consent. Yeah, I'm going to need a yes from everybody on this one. Do I have a yes? Yes. Do I have a yes from Gordon Ramsay, sir, right there? Do I have a yes from you, sir? Good to see you. Yes, I have a yes from you. What about the lead singer of Midnight Oil right there? Do I have a yes from you, sir? Right there. Good. Okay, Prince Harry, nice to see you. Do I have a yes? Do I have a yes from you, sir? Good. Are there any millennials or Gen Z here tonight? Millennials, Gen Z? Yes? Oh, good. All right. I'm going to need a yes from you bitches, because you're the fuckers that'll cancel me, okay? All right. So how about on the count of three, everybody give me a yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. How's it going, guys? And girls, okay? Women, men, ladies, gentlemen, lesbians, gays, bi, trans, non-binary, pan, fluid, queer, intersex, asexual, bi-curious, and those who like a finger in the... I'd like to welcome those with blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes, a lazy eye, the cross-eyed, and those with pink eye. It's probably the same people who like a finger in the... I'd like to welcome blood types A, B, AB, O+, O negative, all the bloods. Oh, and the Crips, if they're here. I want to welcome every single sentient being in this solar system and beyond. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Except for Android users. They can go fuck themselves up. I'm originally from Canada. but I do live in the U.S., and I will say Americans like to make fun of me a lot for saying a few words slightly different. Like in Canada, we say out, and in America, they say out. And we say about, and they say about. And we say sorry, and they say mass shooting. You know what I mean? It's just like a slight difference in the pronunciation. Just a little different how they say it. It's different. But I do live in the U.S. now with my husband. I am married. My husband and I, we just celebrated 19 years together. And thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes. Whoa. Sorry, not in a row. Not in a row. No, we took a year and a half off to find ourselves. Sorry, that's it. And yeah, this is true. The other day, my husband said to me, he's like, I don't understand why you like Instagram so much. It's just a bunch of hot chicks with big tits. I was like, that is your algorithm, you idiot. I showed him my phone, all dogs. His jaw dropped, he got all red, he was all embarrassed. He was like, oh my God, you jerk off to dogs? My name's Renee, thank you guys so much.
A risky getter. I get a lot of risky.
A risky getter.
Yeah.
I'm a risky getter.
Perfect.
A risky getter.
More to come on Jim Jefferies and Friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ivan Aristigetter.
Hola, mi gente bella de Melbourne, ¿cómo están? Bien! That was in Spanish, let's do it in English. Melbourne, here you go, fucking. Any more immigrants? Make some noise, immigrants, yeah? Can you yell your country of origin, please? Scotland. England. You're not an immigrant if you come from England. Listen, you have to learn something in order to adapt. And English people, they don't have to learn new things to adapt to Australia. You're not an immigrant if you, whoever that person is, you're not an immigrant if you move to Australia. You just move to a better suburb. That's it. Because you learn nothing to adapt. I had to learn so much stuff to adapt to this country. For example, I studied English before coming to Australia, so much English. And then I got to Australia, I realized that I should have studied some Australian English. Like, she'll be right, mate, she'll be right. No worries, mate, she will be right. Who the hell is she? The entire hope of Australia depends on this woman being right. We don't speak English in this country. We speak Australian. Australian is a lot easier than English. You should have told me that. English has a lot of words. So many words in English. Australian, just a few words. Because you can transmit, you can communicate so much information just by saying a few words in Australia. For example, in this country, you can explain anything. Anything can be explained in Australia just by saying 3 words. Anything can be explained here just by using 3 words. Fucking, you know. Just 3. I have to learn new stuff when I arrive to this country. I'm a real immigrant. You have to learn new shit. Like driving on the other side of the road and cricket and shit. Cricket is so hard to understand. Most games, it's just put the ball on the other side. That's it, so easy to learn. Football, soccer, put the ball on the other side. Rugby, put the ball on the other side. Australian football, put the ball on the other side. Basketball, put the ball, volleyball, put the ball, tennis, put fucking ping pong, put the ball on the other side. Cricket, no. To learn cricket, you have to learn about finances. Because cricket is like finances. Cricket is like, if you make an investment today, in 3 days, you might get a return. Yeah. As a comedian Australian, I also learn how to adapt my words
doing comedy. I was doing a show on a cruise ship, my first show on a cruise ship, and I was going to perform in the early show. The early show, there were kids in the audience. And they told me, Ivan, you're in the first show. It's a family-friendly show. Kids in the audience, no F words. I went, no F words. My entire act is about impersonating Australians. How do you think I'm going to do my show? And then a friend of mine, a well-seasoned comedian, Australian, he told me, no, Ivan, you can say, you know that in Australia you can swap the F word for bagger and everything will be PG. Just swap all the bagger this and bagger that and bagger all and bagger off and you bloody bagger it. It's like, are you sure it's a PG? Yeah, you can hear it on the radio. Have you heard it on the radio, on the telly? Oh, yeah, I've heard bagger on the radio and on the telly. Bagger, B-U-G-G-E-R, bagger. I've heard that word. Yeah, man, PG-13. So I did what my friend told me. So I swapped all the F words for bagger. Just my set, just checking all the F words for bagger. And then I made a terrible mistake. Behind the curtain, right before the show, I grabbed my phone and I Googled the definition of the word bagger. Let me tell you something, you beautiful people of Melbourne. Bagger is a very specific F word. And it's very graphic. If you Google it, don't click on images. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to say these words in front of children? How come bagger is PG in Australia? And I went, my friend was right. I've heard bagger on the radio. I've heard bagger on the telly. And I also heard bagger yelled by the parents to their children when they're playing footy, like, hey, Timmy, run like baggery! Run like baggery. English is my second language, but let me say something. I think that run like baggery is bad syntax. Because how does baggery run? It's not Timmy, run like baggery. It's more like, hey, Timmy, run. There's a baggery. Or, hey, Timmy, run away from the baggery. So I did what I had to do. I kept the show clean. I stay with fuck. Because fucking, you know. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Iván.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ivan Arista, get up! A round of applause to all the comedians you saw tonight.